Warning, this episode features me singing. No, for real though. What's up, everybody? What's good? My name's EK, and welcome to What's Good English, the channel where I focus on slang, colloquial dialogue, as well as African American vernacular and different curiosities of English, so you can hear how English is really spoken and put that to work for you. And in today's episode, we're going to be focused more on general language learning, and I'm going to give you my guide to how to use music to help you learn a language, because it's actually quite difficult. So stick around. The reason I wanted to make this video is because literally when you tell somebody that you're learning a language, they tell you, oh yeah, you should listen to music. Music is great. It's a great source of learning everything. But like, nobody tells you how to use music to help you learn a language. And music is hard mode. Everything that people do in songs goes to support the song. The lyrics all support the beat, the melody, the rhythm, what have you. So people will pronounce things incorrectly to support the song. People will use old ancient words and vocabulary to support the song, the rhythm, and everything. People in a language like Chinese will sing without the tones, which you need to figure out what words the people are actually saying because of so many homophones, because it supports the song better. It makes the song sound better. So learning a language from music is actually hard mode, but it is still very rewarding, and you will have a rich understanding of the culture and you'll have a good time in the process. I'm going to detail for you guys everything that I did throughout my process to help me use music to make my Spanish better. It's something that I have literally not seen on YouTube, so hopefully those of you that are learning a language, whatever language, can learn something from this. Obviously, I'm going to be using Spanish for this episode. I know the title of my channel is What's Good English, but I can't very well forget all of the English that I know for this episode, and I think I am going to do a series on analyzing song lyrics or something like that in the future, but for this episode we're going to be using a lot of Spanish. Okay, so one of the first things I did was go to YouTube, so let's do that right now. Cool. I went to YouTube and I just typed in Latin playlist 2021, and you've got loads of different playlists here. I mean, you can listen to music for free, you got to listen to some ads or whatever, but it's all good. My advice is just pick whatever you like and go with that. Don't worry about what people think about what is good music and what is not, because people are always going to have a difference of an opinion, and this is the music that you are choosing to help yourself learn the language that you are going to be listening to a lot, because the thing that you have to do is listen to the same songs over and over and over and over again. So pick something that you are going to want to listen to many times. It's going to make you happy. That's going to produce some sort of euphoric feeling inside of you, because you will be hearing the same stuff a whole lot. I actually got criticized by some fellow language learners when I was telling them about the songs that I like to listen to and the songs that I was memorizing, because they were like, oh, that reggaeton, it's got, a lot of words that don't exist, so they just make stuff up, or it's got a lot of slang, and it doesn't really indicate how people actually talk in the day-to-day life and everything. But at the same time, everybody understands those songs. It's like, oh yeah, they understand the slang. They don't use the slang. They don't like the slang. They don't think the songs are cool or whatever, but they understand them enough to not like them. Me, from a language learning point, I'm not even at that point yet. There's still something to be learned. Also, you take a song like Taki Taki with Ozuna and Cardi B and Selena Gomez. Yes, Taki Taki means absolutely nothing, and it's in the chorus, but bailame como si fuera la última vez, enséñame ese besito que no sé, un besito ben suavecito, baby, taki taki. Like, yeah, so the part at the end there when I said taki taki, yeah, that's just a made up word. But dance with me as if it was the last time, like, yeah, you probably are going to want to know how to say something like that. That's a pretty advanced grammatical structure there. That is the imperfect of the subjunctive right there. So there is a lot to be learned. Just because you're listening to a rap song or a reggaeton song, or just because you're listening to something that is, looked down upon, doesn't mean you can't learn something from it. So after you've got about 5 songs that you really like and you've added those to your personal playlist, and yes, you will be adding many more songs to your playlist in the future. If you want, you can make a separate playlist and add a whole bunch of other stuff to it that you like, but You only want to have a small playlist of 5 to 10, no more than 10 songs on it, because those are the songs that you're going to focus on. You're going to try to memorize those songs. You're going to try to sing along with those songs and everything in the future. But you want to only focus on a small amount of songs when you're first starting out. And what you're going to do is you're going to try to just listen for the separation between the words. So you can just identify when a new word is spoken. Doesn't matter if you know what the words is, if you know the meaning behind the song or whatever, just focus on when they go from one word to the next word. This is what I did when I was a complete beginner. Sorry to do an internet recipe thing here for you, but I was vacationing with a friend of mine in Italy, and when we were riding from the airport to the hotel in a taxi, and the taxi had one of those video screens so you could look at music videos while you drive along, and the song Con Altura by Rosalia started playing. And originally I didn't even know the song was in Spanish. My Spanish was horrible at the time. I thought she was an Italian artist or something like that. And when I was listening to my playlist that I was just trying to go through and choose what songs I like to hear, I saw the exact same video and I was like, oh, cool, she's a Spanish artist, she sings in Spanish. I'll go ahead and add that to my playlist. So what you're going to do is get the lyrics to the song that you're listening to, so you can try to hear the separation between the words, and you can look at the lyrics so you can see what words you're supposed to be listening for and see where the separation is. So I've got Con Altura pulled up and I've got the lyrics to the song pulled up, and let's just give it a listen. Okay, so from that part, we've got this opening here, which I really wasn't all that concerned with, because you want to be more concerned with stuff like the chorus, stuff that gets repeated very often when you're first starting out. Now, if you're at a higher level, then yeah, you can go deeper into the lyrics and memorize the entire song, and eventually you will do that. But for right now, we're not going to concern us about this part here with the Esto vamos a arrancarlo con altura, and we're going to be looking here at the chorus. So this is actually a pretty advanced grammatical structure for Spanish. You've got subjunctive in here, you've got a few different forms of future and all kinds of stuff in here. But we're not concerned about any of that. We're not concerned about the grammar. We're not concerned about the meaning behind the words. We're just concerned about how the words are said. So here we've got esto es para que quede lo que yo Altura. Esto es para que quede lo que yo hago dura. So what you want to do is you want to hear for when they're saying that. Let me just hop back here in the song. Esto es para que quede lo que yo hago dura. Demasiado chévere travesura. Vivo rápido, no tengo cura. So over and over again, you want to go through that part. Originally, I could not do that. I had no idea what they were saying. So I just listened to that section over and over and over again until I could hear that it was esto es pa que quede lo que yo hago dura. It's kind of like a tongue twister, and that's another reason I really recommend to try to memorize songs and sing along with songs, because you're getting your tongue accustomed to the language, especially something like this. You know, it's pretty fast, but it is a sentence that could technically be said in regular. Okay, you probably aren't going to say something like esto es pa que quede lo que yo hago dura, but you could say something like esto es pa que quede. This is so that it stays. This is so that's going to stick around, is what that particular part of the sentence means. They actually say things a lot slower than it originally appears. Now, if you don't speak Spanish, or you're just starting out trying to learn Spanish, I know it might sound like they're speaking 100 words a minute, but really it's going at an understandable pace. It's not the fastest Spanish I've ever heard in my life. It's just that you have to get accustomed to it, and once you listen to that same portion hundreds of times, I've heard this song hundreds of times. My roommate probably hates me for all of the times that he has heard this song when I've been in the shower listening to it. But after you've heard it so many times, you hear the separation, you get to know what the words are, and it sounds a lot slower to you. Okay, so the next song that we're going to talk about is El Mismo Sol. It was also on my original playlist. I happened to be just listening to music one day, trying to figure out what I wanted to focus on, and I heard the chorus for this song, and it was super easy to understand, so I added it to the playlist because it was going to be one of the first songs that I would memorize. I think it actually was the first song that I memorized. So we're not going to listen to the entire song here. We're just going to focus on the second verse and the chorus, and I'll just play it right here so you can get an idea of what it sounds like and possibly why I chose this if you speak any bit of Spanish. So let's listen. Okay, so that was pretty easy to understand if you speak even beginner Spanish. Very simple construction and complex at the same time. I mean, here we have no digas, which is the negative imperative. We also have será lo que tú quieras, which is a subjunctive statement here. Also, yo quiero que este sea mundo que conteste. That's also subjunctive. So, one of the things I want to point out is this is a pretty easy to understand song. It's a pretty easy to memorize song. It's a great song for beginners. But as you progress through with your understanding of the language, and it also is very language dependent, not every language has something as ridiculously difficult to understand as a Spanish subjunctive. But this is a song that, while being easy to understand, is a song that is going to reward you if you come back to it and listen to it over and over again. Like, será lo que tú quieras, like, that is subjunctive. That is a statement about the future, about una realidad, something that doesn't quite exist. So you need to use this special construction of the verb querer. So it's a rewarding song when you're a beginner because it's like, oh man, I finally found something that I can listen to, that I like to listen to, that I can say all the words to. And it's a rewarding song when you get more advanced because it's like, oh yeah, they use that construction in that song. That's what that part meant right there. That's why I say you want to listen to the same songs over and over all throughout the process of learning the different music that you're listening to when you're learning the language, because occasionally they're going to throw something at you that's completely new that you didn't realize was in that song before. Okay, so the next song that we're going to look at is another reggaeton song by Daddy Yankee. So pretty much everyone knows who Daddy Yankee is. He's one of the most popular music artists in the entire world. You've probably heard of the song Despacito. He is one of the artists that is on that song. I believe he's the producer on that song as well, but he's also the guy that raps in the end. Anyways, we're not going to listen to that song. It's already played out. But we are going to listen to a song between him and Ozuna. It is one of my favorites, maybe my favorite reggaeton song. It's called Rompe Corazones. Daddy Yankee raps really fast, but like I said in the first song in Con Altura, well, after a while you realize they're actually saying something a lot slower than it appears. I realized that, yeah, he's going kind of fast, but he's actually not going like light speed fast. I can actually understand this and keep up with him. We're going to focus here in on his second verse right here. And we're just going to give it a listen real quick. It starts about right here-ish. So okay, so what you heard probably sounded really quick, but let me sing it along with him. I'm probably gonna mess up, but we'll see. I know I'm gonna mess up the first part, but listen to how it sounds when I say it. It probably goes a lot slower than you might think. Me enamoró, ya no me ignora, me dijo que estaba sola, le me llama insaciable, que la cama me devora, hasta la mente me controla, mate 24 horas, no sabes lo que te espera, hay sorpresas en la caja de Pandora. So yes, Daddy Yankee is hard mode, but just because it's hard mode doesn't mean you shouldn't try. Yes, I screw up on the first two lines, but I'm actually surprised at my performance right now because I was actually able to stay along with him for almost the entire lower section of his verse, and it doesn't really go as quickly as you think. It goes a lot slower as I originally remember it going, just because my level has gone up with Spanish so much, which is another way that listening to music does reward you along the way. So let's quickly review all of the steps prior before we look at the last song. What you're going to do is you're going to listen for songs that you like, and you're going to create a very small playlist of those songs, and you're going to listen to those songs over and over again. If you're a complete beginner, you're just going to try to identify when they're going from one word to the next and not worry too much about what particular word it is or what the meaning behind the song is. You're just listening for the separation in between the words, and you're just listening for when they go from one word to the next. And you're still going to try to memorize that song because you're going to be looking at the lyrics of the song along with listening to the song to identify exactly what is the word and how that word is spoken when it's in the group with the other words. From there, you're going to memorize the songs, you're going to sing along with the songs. You're going to do this very often, over and over and over again. You are going to annoy the people that you live with these songs, but do you want to learn the language or not? I would say once you have at least 3 to 5 songs memorized, or maybe not all the way memorized, but you can sing along with them pretty well, add more songs to your playlist. Eventually you'll end up doing the same process with new songs, and those will become some of the songs that you listen to very frequently. Some of the songs I listen to a lot now and have memorized now, or I'm in the process of memorizing, are songs that I didn't have on my original playlist, obviously, but I still go back to the original songs that I started with and listen to them over and over again and sing along with them because I do learn new things from them. For example, when I discovered that the subjunctive existed in Spanish and that several of the songs I already knew used the grammatical constructions of the subjunctive, that might not happen in the language that you're learning because it might not have something as complicated as the Spanish subjunctive, but I guarantee you there's probably something that you had no idea existed in the song that you were already listening to ahead of time. And you're going to want to challenge yourself. You're going to want to find a song where maybe somebody raps really fast, like that Daddy Yankee song that I showed you, or a challenge song like the one I'm going to show you now, which is another song by Rosalia. I know I started this playlist with a song from her, but it's my playlist, it's my YouTube video. You want to make a video about how to use music to learn the language, you do you, and you can choose whatever artist you want. This happens to be my favorite Rosalia song. It's probably one of my all-time favorite songs. It's a really cool one. It's called Aunque es de noche. It's not her song in particular. It's actually a poem, one of the oldest poems ever found in Spain, and there are several different versions of the song. I'm sure some people are going to criticize me for choosing the Rosalia version, but that was the version that I heard first, so I'm pretty attached to it. All right, so we're just going to look at a small portion of this song, and we're going to listen to that portion, and I'm going to try to sing along to that portion, and I'm probably going to butcher it. I haven't quite memorized the song, but as anyone that can speak Spanish will tell you, Rosalia is actually hard mode. She is from Spain, but she doesn't really sing with the traditional Spanish accent. She adopts a more flamenco sort of accent when she sings certain songs, and it can be super hard to understand. Native speakers of Spanish have a hard time understanding her in some of her songs. That is not a discouragement for me, actually. The song is really beautiful. I encourage you to listen to the whole thing on your own time, add it to your own playlist. It's a really beautiful version of the song. I really like it. The video is also pretty cool. Anyways, I'm done rambling. Let's have a listen. Alright, so the part here in blue is what you just heard. Let me try to sing along, and I'm gonna butcher this. Please forgive me. Okay, here we go. Y son tan calurosas sus corrientes que cielos vientos riegan y la gente. Okay, I am officially done butchering songs for this episode. I hope you now at least have some idea of how to use music to help you learn a language. Remember, music is hard mode. When the fluency switch finally does get flipped on in your brain, you probably will still not be able to understand what people are singing about when you hear a new song. I know I can't. It is a struggle. Whenever I see the lyrics and read the lyrics along with the song, I do a lot better and I can actually hear the words that they're saying, but I need the lyrics to finally be able to understand the song. That's just me. I'm sure once I get more fluent, I might be able to understand a lot more, on the first pass, but it is what it is, and it's a struggle and it's a long process. So if you're listening to songs and you're like, oh, I'm just not picking anything up, I'm supposed to be able to pick stuff up, people say you're supposed to listen to music and you get better when you listen to music. Dude, you are not alone. It is perfectly normal. Music is hard mode. Music is hard mode. Music is hard mode. I don't know a better way that I could possibly say it. Music is hard mode. But yeah, just listen to the songs, continue to listen to music. You will notice things. Continue to look at the lyrics to things. You will notice things. Continue to challenge yourself with harder songs that you didn't think you would ever be able to memorize, because eventually you're going to find out people are actually singing a whole lot slower than you thought, or people are rapping a whole lot slower than you thought. And just continue to challenge yourself and continue to fall in love with the music, because that will help you fall in love with the language, and it will go hand in hand, and you will enjoy yourself and have a blast with it. I'm sorry for just rambling on like that, but hey, that's what I do on this channel. Anyways, if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button. Please consider subscribing. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video. If you want to criticize my singing skills, that's perfectly fine. I'm telling you, I can't sing. I apologized for it the entire way through this video. Anyways, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao. Si no prende la voy a llamar, pues salí con los muchachos a beber y dije que de ti no iba a hablar. Son las 5, ya va a amanecer. Si no prende la voy a llamar, todavía yo te quiero.